So here I am. I hope the sound is good for you now. Please type in if you can hear the sound okay. And I'll wait to make sure the sound is better. Yes, the buzzing has gone. The sound is fine. Okay, I'm going to start again really quickly, which is to say, here we are at the time of Imbolc in the Northern Hemisphere, Lunasa in the south. They're intimately related because Imbolc is the time of promise, and Lunasa, Lammas, is the time of fulfillment. We sow the seeds in the spring, the beginnings of spring, and it bears fruit and harvest at the time of the autumn. So this is the relationship between the two. If you're in the southern hemisphere, my apologies. I know there are people in Australia listening here, but hang on for 6 months and all this will be relevant to you. And of course, it's all connected anyway. So these festivals are liminal times, and they're times in Druidry. We have 3 festivals for every season. You might say, how can this possibly be? There are 4 seasons, 3 times 4 makes 12, and there are only 8 festivals. Maybe the mathematicians amongst you can explain how you fit 12 into 8. I can't tell you this, but let me explain how it works. Look at this. The winter begins, the first winter festival is around the 31st of October, Samhain. But it's this liminal time, this threshold time between autumn and winter. It's the autumn, but it's also the winter. The leaves are still flowing from the trees, falling from the trees, but it's starting to get cold and wintry. First winter festival, Samhain. Second winter festival, the winter solstice, Olban Arthan, 22nd of December. It's really cold and it's winter. Third winter festival is now Imbolc. Today it snowed where I am in Lewis and Sussex. It's bitterly cold, never been colder. And yet the flowers are starting to come up. I'm going to pop a photograph on this video of a photograph I took in the street outside where I saw a little crocus had popped out of the paving slab. A perfect symbol for Imbolc. So it's a festival marking getting towards the end of winter and also recognizing the first hints of spring in the air. Second spring festival, March the 21st, 22nd, 23rd, the Olban Isla, the spring equinox. Third spring festival, Beltane, May the 1st. But of course, that's also the first summer festival. Summer's starting to begin in May. What a wonderful time it is. And then you get June, Olban Hefin, the summer solstice. And then you get the third summer festival, Lunasa, which is also the beginning of the harvest. And so it marks just the faint stirrings of autumn. Now I know in August you feel like you're in a flood of summer, a full flood of summer really, but you can, if you look at the trees, you can pick up the scent of autumn just coming towards you, and it's the beginning of the autumn season as well. It's this liminal point which takes us to the autumn equinox, Olban Elfed, September 21st, 22nd, 23rd, and then round to the third autumn ceremony at Samhain. So isn't that beautiful how we love the earth and her seasons so much that we dedicate 3 festivals to each of her faces? And so let's, at this liminal time of Imbolc, let's look. We all know it's very easy to find out about the quality, the details of Imbolc. Let's look now instead. Let's go to the qualities. What are the qualities and virtues of this time? What are the qualities that are stimulated in us and that we can work with best at this time? I'd like to suggest it's the quality of hope, of promise, of tenderness, deep inner strength that seems like fragility from the outside, but like those plants coming up out of the concrete, show a real inner strength. And finally, trust. because we still have to trust at this time. I mean, today you really have to trust that spring is on its way because it's snowing and it's bitterly cold. But deep down, I know it's on its way, and I can feel the sun growing in its strength. And so maybe let's take this opportunity to do a little meditation together where we become aware of being seated in the sacred grove. And we've gathered now, many of us, from every direction, from every corner of the planet, and we're here together in this wonderful big clearing in the forest. The strength of the trees around us, the clear air of the sky above us, and the earth beneath us. And if you like, you might like to imagine that you're cupping your hands, you're holding your hands out and making a cup with them. And you close your psychic eyes so you can only feel and not see. And you sense that there is somebody passing around the circle, and they come around to your hands, and you feel them tipping soil into your hands. And you feel and smell the earth. It's slightly moist, it's light. You can feel this soil, and you can feel the energy of the earth flowing into the palms of your hands, and then through your arms, to your chest, to your heart. So you're making a kind of heart, your hands cupped together being one part of the heart, and then the energy flowing around into your chest. And you focus on this earth, and then you can sense that somebody else is passing around the circle, and they're placing a seed within the earth, and then gently patting it. And then imagine that you open your eyes, your psychic eyes, and you look at this earth. And as if by magic, this plant starts to grow. You see a tiny little shoot coming up out of the soil, a little green shoot. And you can even see into the earth, and you can see these little tendrils of roots growing in the soil. And you can see the shoot coming up and a snowdrop appearing. And you're holding this life in your hands, and you're looking at the snowdrop. And you sense its beauty, its life. And then you gently lower it to the ground, and you see there's a little hollow in front of you that you can easily tuck this earth into. And you can plant it in front of you in the soil. And you look around at your companions, and you see that there's a whole circle of little white flowers growing. And you press your palms against the soil to bed it in nicely. And you send your love for the earth and love for this plant flowing down your arms, through the palms of your hand, into the earth. And then you gradually move your hands away. You place your hands on your heart for a while, and then you slowly open your eyes. And so this is the energy of this time, I think. I'm sorry to hear, it says it's buzzing again. What a shame that is. I'm sorry if the sound isn't good, but I'm going to keep going. This is the energy, I think, of Imbolc. A gentle energy, but with a strength, a deep strength. inside, a deep strength inside. And it points to an enormous truth, I think, a really powerful truth. But it's a truth of the power in the small. You know, we're so used to what is big. Hollywood, unfortunately, has contributed to this, so that we can tend to feel that if something big isn't happening in our lives, if the story isn't big, somehow we're not living fully enough, our life isn't on full enough volume. But we all actually know, I think, that it's those small moments that are often the most powerful. You know, when you look back on your life and you think about those things that really touch you, they can often be just one thing that somebody has said. You know how powerful it can be, particularly when you're feeling vulnerable or weak, and somebody just smiles at you or says something really affirming and loving to you at just the right time. This is the energy of this time, I believe. The energy of Imbolc, which is why we use candles. Lean back and talk. Is it better if I lean back? I'm going to turn this knob down. There's a sort of thing called gain or something here. Is that better? Can you hear me now? Tell me if you can hear me now. Anyway, this is the thought I'll leave you with. I'm sorry the sound wasn't working very well. I'll write a little bit of this out, and thank you for being here, and thank you for coming anyway, despite the buzzing. And a very happy Imbolc to you. Have a wonderful time at this shifting season, and may the light be with you, and may many blessings be with you. Okay, much love. Bye.